So I'm really fascinated by really what was the agricultural revolution 10,000 years ago, when we moved from a society that foraged to a society that stayed in one place and domesticated animals and plants. And what you see when you see this change happen, you see basically that we become a much more violent people as a whole. One of the reasons we become a more violent people is because when you start possessing things and you start owning things, you need to protect these things. They're your property, and you have to have laws to protect you, and you have people who want to take what you have, and then you have conflict, and then you have war. And we start to see this happen when we start domesticating animals. There are very real links between domesticating animals, domesticating plants, and exploiting human beings, and war and violence that start to take place. The root of the word cattle comes from the same root for capital, capitale, the Latin word, which, having to do with economy. The Latin word for wealth, pecus, comes from the word cattle, pecuniary. Comes from the word cattle. So there was a real link between what was considered affluent, wealth, property, chattel, goods. All of these have the same root words, and all have to do with the fact that that's linked to livestock and owning animals. And so what happens is we start looking at animals as commodities. We start seeing nature. It's the whole idea of controlling nature. Those things start to happen. When you own it, you control it. And we start changing the way we operate. We used to be in communion with nature. We used to revere animals. They used to be gods to people, and then they became property. Well, that really affects your consciousness, and it really affects your behavior. So that's how we started moving as a society.